Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha Yathagnir-dahika shaktihi Ramakrishne stita hiya Sarva-vidya svarupam tam Sharadam pranamamyaham Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Namaste to you all. Bhagavad Gita, we are trying to understand something that is beyond our reach at present, aspiring for the enlightenment, praying for it constantly. Open the doors to perfection. Take us to the realm beyond. Make us a realized soul on this earth. So this is the life of our ancient sages who realized their own self, realized God, and saw God everywhere, and eternally they remained one with it. So that is our aim, that is our goal, the spiritual enlightenment. Before the body falls off, it has to be attained by every human. To know who am I in this body, where from did I come, where am I going. The only proof we have is we enter into sleep, totally separating from the body. This is the only proof we have. I have an existence independent of body. I identify with this body, dwell in this body in waking state. In dream state, I dwell in subtle level, in subtle body. And in deep sleep, I am with the causal body. These are the three experiences, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. With that we are trying to enter into the realm transcendental, to have the self-knowledge. Who am I? What is this world? What is beyond? So the whole truth is to be known. We are as if in a dream world. So we are not sure where we are, what are we doing, because we do not know what is this world. How far is it? How vast is it? Is there anything beyond or not? Nothing is known. But we are making all efforts by grace of God. We have been able to come in contact with each other and with the Holy Book and Holy Scriptures, which lead man to the realm transcendental of everlasting peace, bliss, and love. And it is within our range, within our access, a little efforts to transcend. This is what Bhagavad Gita we are studying for, and till now we have finished. Just going through generally what are the contents, to see the contents of the chapters. First 6 chapters we finished, second six chapters we finished. Looking into the contents, we are trying to understand today the third part, the third 6. Here, this 6 has a specific contents. The first, just like Vedas, Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda and Jnana Kanda, we see here the first 6 chapters dealing with the Karma Yoga, and 6th to 12th, the next 6 are devoted to the Upasana Kanda, like the Bhakti Yoga, and then the last, now what we are going to go through is the 6 contains the Jnana Yoga. And when it comes to the Advaitic understanding, we will have just like Tat Tvamasi, Tvam Tad Asi. This is the 3. How we describe? Tat Tvamasi, Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvamasi. It is changed. Tvam Tad Asi. Tvam is given in the beginning. What are you? And then Tat, what is that? And you are that. So this is the whole of Bhagavad Gita. And when we look into the general, it starts with the word Dha, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. Last, Ma, Arma, Mama. So Dharma is the whole content, is the how to live in the world. So here we see the end, the whole thing is a compact understanding. How should I live in this world? How shall I transcend? What is this? Where am I? Who am I? How to transcend? The whole thing is given in the Bhagavad Gita. So we have gone through the 12 chapters, and yesterday I sent the last class belated notes. I could not finish writing. So in the end of each chapter, from the last 2 classes I have sent together again. The end essence, the name of the each chapter, like Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna, what is the essence? Arjuna Vishada Yoga, just despondency of Arjuna and transformation of Arjuna. Then comes the next part, next chapter, Sankhya Yoga, Atma Jnana, Karma Yoga. It is simple, Nishkama Karma, like the simple way of remembering all the chapters, the whole view of the Bhagavad Gita. I have tried to give. We'll discuss, just go through it in the next class. Now we will just see what are the rest of the 6 chapters we have left. The next chapter we come to is Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. After the Bhakti Yoga, in the 12th chapter, we come to the Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetra means field. Any field is called Kshetra. Kshetrajna, a knower of the field. Now, the Krishna describes beautifully what is Kshetra. He identifies with at the cosmic level, the universe is the Kshetra, for the Lord to dwell. For us, individual level, it is the bodily existence, Sharirika Astitva. This bodily existence in which we are dwelling now is the Kshetra. And Kshetrajna, who is the Kshetrajna? The cosmic consciousness which is there in every jiva. It's pervading the whole universe and all beings. And in the beings, the cosmic existence is projecting as the individual existence. Individual consciousness. The Samashti Chaitanya is manifest as the individual Chaitanya, the Vyashti Chaitanya. So when we come to the Kshetrajna, myself is the Kshetrajna. Is myself is separate from the rest of the consciousness? No. Consciousness is one. Akhanda. The Chaitanya which is in me is there in the other also, because it is one, Akhanda. And it is the universal consciousness. This Kshetra Kshetrajna is complete understanding of the individual soul. And the simple formula he gives is avibhaktam vibhakteshu. You are seeing many and varieties, patterns, varieties of things in this multifarious world we are in. In that this multifarious is pervaded, the diversity is pervaded, diversity is combined, integrated by, it is like a Sutre Manigana, he explains, I am pervading everything, every object, every atom I am pervading, like the thread passing through the beads in a japamala or something, you see, actually it refers to the children counting, Manigana. So, like that I am pervading. This is the whole of Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. Then comes the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. The three gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama, is the soul is bound in the three gunas. The Sattva, Raja, Tama is binding every soul. The Prakriti is binding. We are in the realm of Prakriti, nature. We are bound by the nature's gunas, qualities. Nature and quality are not different. When I say iron, it is hardness. Hardness is different from the iron. When I say butter, softness is different from the butter. Softness, hardness. But when we say guna with respect to Prakriti, guna and Prakriti, guna itself is Prakriti. Prakriti itself is guna. The knowledge, cognition, the movement, rajas, cognition is sattva. I can see, I can understand, I can reveal myself, I can express myself. So all this pertain to cognition, sattva, rajas, the movements, and tamas, the material objects, gross material objects. These three constitute sattva, rajas, tama, is the universe. Movement itself is the nature. Cognition itself is nature. The matter we see around itself is nature. So how to get to come out of, emerge out from these three gunas? I should not be bound by tamas. I should not be bound by rajas. The tamas is lethargy, excessive anger and things like that. Rajas is constantly desiring for something and running behind. Rajas. And then sattva is good qualities. I have to transcend all the three. And that person who transcends is called Triguna-atita. So we have to reach the Triguna-atita. The gunas, it's called nature, and how it binds the jiva, and how to transcend and become Triguna-atita is given in the 14th chapter, the Gunatraya Vibhaga. And then the next comes is the Purushottama Yoga, the 15th chapter. A beautiful explanation of the whole. When we, every day, we usually, anything, this one, 3 chapters we usually try to utilize. One is the 2nd chapter where Atma Jnana is given. 12th chapter where Bhakti Yoga is given. And Purushottama Yoga where my individual existence and whole universe is governed by a force. Who is governing my life? Who is governing this universe? This is being brought into picture in the 15th chapter. 15th chapter is an important thing for us. So especially in the sadhu pangat and all that, the food when it is served, when food is being served, we chant the 15th chapter. It begins with the peepal tree, Ashwattha Vraksha, Ashwattha. Though it is not there next day, Shwa is tomorrow. Ashwattha, tomorrow it is no more. Everything is constantly changing, but within the changing, there is a continuity. With the whole universe going back to its causal form and again manifesting. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya is going on unendingly. Continuously it's going on. We are growing, we are taking birth, and again body falling off, another is continuing. Lives of birth to death is continuing, sunrise to sun is continuing. The cycle is continuing, and the cycle is the unending. The whole thing, everything, cycle is unending. Within limited, but it is limited. Limited, but because it is cycle, it is unending. So the Ashwatha, though it is going to be, next moment it is no more. Now what is the point? Next moment it is not there. Kshana Bhangura. But there is a continuity. So this continuity is that Ashwatha example is given, and then this is going to, I am mounted on this. It is like a mounting on the wheel, that I have to emerge from it. There he gives the Asanga Shastrena Dhridena Chitva. Asanga Shastra. Cultivate the dispassion. You cannot destroy this because it's a cycle. You can break it for a moment. You can, the Ashwatha tree, Sri Ramakrishna says, you cut whole the tree, next day you see a new shoot have come up from somewhere. So this aspect is being clearly manifest. So here we see how the thing, Ashwatha, because it is continuously engaging me, caught me, I am in the run. I have to disconnect through Asanga. Asanga Shastrena Dhridena Chitva Tatah Padam Tat Parimargitavyam. After that you have to search for the reality. First you have to detach, and then you must search for the path that is going to lead to the eternal life. This is the one aspect. And the second thing in which we see is Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana in the 15th chapter. Mamai Vamsho. The life that you are seeing in this universe, anywhere, in any plane of existence, it is my spark. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Manashashtani Indriyani. The moment it enters into Prakriti, it catches hold of something. Like a person fallen in the water, in these floods, he catches whatever is available to him in the hand. Like that, it is the whole thing, the jiva. How the life comes into. Then the whole thing is sustained by me. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Prani. Every life is my spark, and I am maintaining that. I dwell in it and take care of it. Not only somewhere. I am not somewhere like a king sitting and looking after the praja. I enter them. I dwell within them. Mamai Vamsho, and I live. It is Amsha only. Still I live in my fullness in every jiva. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha Pranapana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidam. All the food that he takes, I digest, I energize, I make him move. So that aspect, then he slowly comes to the end. There are kshetra, just like individual and cosmic. Kshara, Akshara. I am spirit. Krishna says, I am this pure spiritual existence. And I manifest in Jiva. I have two aspects of my spiritual existence. One is Jiva, one is the Ishvara. Kshara and Akshara. Two aspects are there. Apart from these two, I remain as Purushottama, the Supreme Being, Purusha Uttama, the Supreme Being, or Supreme Person, if you say, with capital P, personal aspect of God. And that I maintain the whole, sustain the whole universe. Sustaining the universe, sustaining the individual jiva. Individual jiva I am sustaining, dwelling in it and pervading the whole universe. I am sustaining the universe. So here, this 15th chapter is an important part for us to know our eternal relationship with God. God dwelling in us and we dwelling in God. Except God, nothing is there. But still, the one veil of ignorance is making us see duality in this world where there is no duality. This is called Maya. So here we see how the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter as an important part, how to disconnect yourself from the tree, the samsara vraksha. It's samsara, it's an unending movement, samsarati, constantly moving, constantly changing flux. You will be tossed here. So separate and just be a witness of all things going on. Separate and stand. How do you stand? On the divine. With what support? Holding the divine. I have the platform also is divine. My hold is also divine. From there we come to the 16th chapter of Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga. The Daiva Asura Sampad Vibhaga. The godly and demonical forces in nature. The godly forces are there. Sri Ramakrishna says, this world is a duality. There is good and bad. There are like nectar giving fruit trees are there. There are poisonous trees. There are good people, there are bad people. It's a combination. When one becomes two, one is negative and one is positive. So Devas. Now, in the 16th chapter, he differentiates Daivasura and where does it lead? Godly qualities, where is it going to? Heavenly life of everlasting peace and bliss. You are in the process of evolution, holding on to the Devi Gunas, Sampat. And Asuri Sampat is there. Demonical for nature, he exists. Hold on to it, you will get involved. The evolution and involution. You are passing through the involutory process of eternal suffering and eternal bondage. As long till you don't leave and come to the other side, you will be constantly, always in tension. You see the demons, how they exist, demonical nature, always restless, always. In us also it is there. The Daivas and Asuras both are there. That is the war. And we have Devatas also, all must get together. My goodness is there, so much of goodness is there. But my other tendencies are dominating and taking away like Rakshasas. Now, when all my good qualities join together, the Divine Mother manifests. There is Durga Saptashati, Chandi. How the Divine Mother, all Devas are joined together. The common aim. When the common aim comes, yes, we have to do it. You see, I was in forest. Here and there, small hamlets were there. Only one hamlet was there in our area, where about 28 families were there. The whole vast land of forest. I am somewhere in the depths of the forest, all alone. At the entrance there was a small village called Sridhana. It's not a village, it's a hamlet. And they were asked to quit. They were there from 50, 60 years. Their great-grandfathers had come. If 16 people were brought inside the forest by the British people to, in case of fire, this, that, necessities, to help, and they developed into a small hamlet of 28 families when I was there. And they were asked to quit. And they have to go. They don't know anything in the outside. They are forest dwellers. They belong to the Yadava Kula. Fair looking like Kashmiri people. So these people were asked to go out, and then they have to go empty-handed. Where will they go? Where will they eat? What? No, nothing doing. You have come, you are going to go. That's all the instruction. Finally, one forester just told them, see, you will have to go now, but become a Sangatana, join together. Nobody can shake you now. Individually, they will drive you away. They will beat you, they will take and leave you in the city and come away. Leave yourself. If you make a Sangatana, get together, join together now, become a unit. Whatever be your differences, dissolve and become one and face the government. And they did. They had to fight with the government for 8 to 10 years. Then they were all were given land, housing necessities. House was built and given, and they could take all the cows, this, that, and their small things were transported by the government, and comfortable living was provided. That becoming one, like that our all gunas within, all our bad things are there. Otherwise, we are not humans. When the papa and punya, the merit and demerit are equal, we get human birth. Our tendencies are equal, good and bad. But when good together join, bad leaves the place immediately. They have to leave this house, this dwelling place. And then you become pure sattva and gunatita, trigunatita. So the whole body becomes like a spiritual existence. Every part, every cell becomes spiritual. There is no dirt anywhere. To that purity, a bad thought cannot appear in your mind anymore. There is nothing other than God in reality. So same thing you will be seeing also. So this is Daivasura Vibhaga. So the whole thing is, finally he comes to the saying, Arjuna asks, how to know I am holding on to what? He says, Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vibhagayoho. What to be done, what not to be done. Let the scriptures, the enlightened soul, what they say, who has crossed over and gone and given us the information, let them guide us. The scriptures is the final authority, and let the scriptures be your guidance to decide what to do and what not to do. Then comes the next chapter, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. The 3 types of faith, Trividha, according to the gunas, sattva, raja, tama. The whole thing, when we go through the Bhagavad Gita, we will know what is this nature. Sattva, raja, guna we will see in everything. So here we see in the 17th chapter, the 18th is the last, 17th chapter, the 3 types of faiths, sattva, raja, tama. And then we see those who are sattvic will Devan, the Devatas they worship, and the other who are Rajasic by nature, Yaksha Rakshasan, and then those who are Tamas by nature, Bhuta Pretadi worship, they will be doing. From there it begins, and then the food, 3 types of food. I like certain foods. How does a sattvic like what is the liking of a sattvic person, Rajasic person, Tamasic person regarding food? Then the yajna, how does the sacrifices they do? How does the sattvic do? How the Thakur says, you see, sattvic will silently sit and do the japa as if he's sleeping, he's pretending, covering, he's getting up late as if he's doing japa within. The sattvic, when he does the worship, silently he is immersed in the presence of God. Rajasic will wear nice things, so many items for worship kept ready, and gloriously he wants name and fame. How does his tamasic bring the animal, kill this, that? How the yajnas also, these difference. Then tapas, 3 types of the sattva, tamas, and then the level of tapas also. 3 levels: manasika, sharirika tapas, manasika tapas, and your existential level, the body, mind, and the inner being. The 3 types of tapas. And how does the sattvic do the tapas, rajasic do the tapas, tamasic do the tapas, is also being told. Then dana, the charity you do. How does the sattvic people, when they do dana, yogya patra, yogya kala, and all. Rajasic, how does he do? Tamasic, how do you do? The gunatraya, according to the nature, how they. And finally, he comes to the Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Saditi. This is uttered by the ancient sages. Here, Krishna doesn't say what is good and what is bad. 3 gunas are there, how they behave. Then you cannot get rid of so easily, and time is going away. How to utilize this to attain the divine? How to worship? If you are tamasic, how will you worship God? If you are sattvic, how will you do the worship of God? But you have to reach somehow. So tatsaditi, this is brought into reality is brought into picture. How the reality is invoked, infused in whatever you do, in your own thing, so that it transcends the limitations of nature and you attain the goal. Then comes the last chapter, the 18th chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. In that, he beautifully explains. Arjuna asks, what is to be renounced? Should we renounce all the work and activities? Sannyasa. Krishna says, no, you cannot, everything need not be renounced. All the things that belittle you, make you move towards the animal nature, all these things are to be given up. But yajna, dana, tapa, karma, na tyajam. The yajna, dana, and tapa, these things should not be given. Yajna is what is done as a sacrifice for others and for God. Yajna. Dana is for humans to maintain this one. What you give, giving. Yajna, dana. Tapa is what you do to transcend your nature. To devatas, to others, to whatever you do as a sacrifice is yajna. Dana is exclusively for humans. I am a human being. Human is the highest manifestation of Chaitanya. There, and yajna is for all devatas, and anywhere you see God and do. In name of God, at least you do. Yajna, dana, and tapa is to transcend your own nature. These 3 things, pavanani manishina, it's going to sanctify your life. Human life is sanctified, purified by these 3. So these 3 things should never be given up. Then slowly the karma. What is karma? Sattva, rajatama aspect of karma. Kartra. Then buddhi, dhriti is explained. How dhriti is grit power, holding on, bulldog tenacity, to hold on to a thing. How we hold on to this world and enjoyments and the children and this and that. That dhriti, same dhriti is used in the spiritual world also while going to God. So dhriti also, sattva, rajatama, he explains, and finally comes to the God lives in every heart. And then as indweller, He is the mover. He is the prime mover and we move. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. Like mounted on a machine, He makes them run, run, run. He's dwelling inside. God is dwelling inside and making them move. Tameva sharanam gaccha. You surrender to Him alone. Sarva bhavena bharat. In every way, surrender to Him. By His grace, you will attain parama shanti. Tat prasadat. By His grace, you will attain shantim paramam. And you attain the sthana, a place. Sthanam prapsasi. What type of sthana? Shashvatim. You will attain the eternal place, eternal life in eternal place. So this is what is assured. When I went to Vrindavan, after my sannyas, I stayed for a few days there. One of the Holy Mother's disciple was staying there. Gopesh Maharaj. And then we see he was totally bedridden, on the deathbed almost. He made me to sit on his cot and told me, there is a book on, Bhagavad Gita book on my table, bring it. And he asked me to read these two slokas, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. And then, Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. Remember these two and cross over. He is not able to talk properly. In the bedridden condition, he is telling and blessing us. So this is, then comes the last Charama Shloka. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. And ahantva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suja. I will release you from all bondages of karma. Don't worry. What all I have told, just leave it off. It is for knowledge only. The only thing you have to do now is surrender to me. I will give you freedom from all the bondages and suffering forever. So with this, the Bhagavad Gita ends. These are the chapters, and in the next class we will just the essence alone. I will send the notes also for this, just to go through, so that the Bhagavad Gita means immediately you must be able to identify what are the things. What is this Bhagavad Gita? What is it to me? And imbibe and let the Bhagavad Gita be your body and mind be the Bhagavad Gita. Anywhere open and see, you must get Bhagavad Gita. Thakur Mother Swamiji, they must dwell in our heart eternally. All right, for today. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Here is a question. Swamiji, you said, we have both good gunas and bad gunas within. When all good gunas solidify, there comes Divine Mother's blessing. Good and bad gunas keep fluctuating within. How to suppress bad so it never emerges?
No, we do not suppress the bad. We transcend the bad. Suppression is not used in spiritual life or in psychological world. We don't suppress. We transcend and go beyond. We leave them to themselves. And then see, how do we get rid of the weeds in a field? We are growing some crop and then some vegetable garden and all. How do we get rid of we don't water them, we see that these things are dying away by themselves. And we see once the trees come up, once the plants come up, flourish nicely, these will have no value at all. So, gunas we integrate and we make it the power to drive ourselves. It is like 5 or 6 horses tied together to a cart. All my gunas sadgunas are brought into together to drive my life. The Jivana Yatra has to go on. I will see that in every aspect, in everything, I have no hatred towards anybody. I may scold a person from outside, his external only, his gunas I am trying to hit, not him. I separate the qualities of the people from the individual. We mix up. The bad quality, a bad person may become good overnight. Good person may become bad overnight. But this goodness and badness are superimposed on the person. We start hating the person rather than the gunas. So in Vyavahara, you will just differentiate this. When sadgunas come together, you will be able to see the divine and the superimposing durguna or saguna over that. You don't value that. You value when treating. When scolding, you are not scolding the inner self. You are very careful in handling a person. When you are scolding a person for his wrong, the inner love is manifesting to love the inner being. The soul understands. It responds. It gets rid of its bad qualities. Say, sorry, no, I will not do again. So this I am able to do, drive my life in the proper direction by integrating all my goodness. I have another horse dragging in the same direction. So my intellect, my heart, I love someone in my life, maybe my child, my mother or someone. I am attached. I am slowly, when all my good qualities, can I not see God in them? Sri Ramakrishna says, whomever you love, see God in them. And wherever you see God, love there. So how to change this attitude? Now, attachment was there for my child or someone from where I am not able to detach myself. But it remains as it is. I am transcending by seeing the divine there. The attachment has gone away, but the same love, same concern, same dearness is still there without attachment. The Divine Mother is awakened. When Sadgunas come together, the Divine Mother manifests. Just like in Durga Saptashati, you see Divine Mother standing there, all bow down. And each God has presented himself, all the good qualities that want to protect the dharma. They give their this one also, weapons also. She is decked with susajjita, with all things. So like that, in our life also, the same thing happens. There is a tremendous transformation when all goodness come to your awareness. We are not aware. Very often we are more aware of our bad side than good side. Let bad side not come to the awareness, they slowly die away. Try to, Sri Ramakrishna says, you want to go to east, why are you fighting with the west? Go east, west will fall back by itself. So this is how we transcend. All right, anything else? Then
one more question is here. Pranam Maharaj, there are some days when the mind is continuously constricted towards human beings and not thinking selflessly, and this, after some days, these thoughts dissolve by itself. Again, it comes back days later. Why does this happen, and how to transcend this?
Human, what is the word behind?
Human
First starting.
constricted.
Huh?
Constricted. CONSTRICTED.
Constricted.
Constricted towards human beings.
The thing is, there is no continuity. Absence of continuity is because of the impurity within the unconscious mind. There is the conscious mind, we are conscious now. Now the next program is there, oh, I have to go and I have to talk to people, or I have to take my food, this, that, so many things, one after the other. Afternoon there is recording, this, that, all it is there in the subconsciousness. It will be releasing time to time. It is food time, get up, it will be telling. This is subconscious. Unconscious mind is there, in which the deep inside fear, whatever touches heart will enter the unconscious. In the unconscious mind, it will be hiding like a tiger behind the bush, waiting for the prey. We will not know. Normally we see, I don't get angry, but when the situation comes, how the anger pounces out. Where from it came? Like that, it will be hiding, kama, krodha, and all. Whatever touches heart enters there. Fear also. You see, when a small child, the usual tendency of people is to throw it up and catch. The child, it will do. Each time somebody throws and catches. That will be there throughout the life. In dreams, sleep, as if you are fallen from some heights. Usually, most of the people whom the children have been thrown up, they feel this one, fear, many things. So, this will be entering deep into the fear, deep enjoyments and all. They project out. The continuity is broken by now and then some other nature of mind projecting out. It is dissociating. Suppose I am constantly loving, and then suddenly some other awareness comes, and some other nature projects out. This is disconnected. Again it goes back. This continuity is there. Then where we have to correct is the correction for the unconscious inner. Constantly something, what we do, so many bad things also will be there unconscious. In dreams also we see some bad dreams coming, some ghosts coming, this, that, enjoyments, seeking enjoyments, running after the enjoyments in dreams. All this many times come. What we do is constant flow of japa. Japa is constantly done consciously, and flow of japa is there, and viveka. What is good, what is wrong, trying to analyze and go. This jnana dhara and the japa bhakti dhara are entering into, and the unconscious cannot be destroyed because it is a product of heart. It cannot be destroyed. It can be transformed. So these two, bhakti dhara and jnana dhara, enter inside with the japa dhara. like a Sudarshana Chakra, cutting all things, destroying inside. These japa will start transforming. They cannot kill or destroy, transforming. I had great desire to have many children. I wanted to get married and to get children. Now the whole thing is that I want to have disciples. I wanted to build a fine building, one mahal. I will build a temple. Same thing remains. The fulfillment is done on divine basis. They come out in a different form, not as something harming me in any way or binding me in any way. They emerge out beautifully, something given to God or something given to nature. Nothing, zero for me, no selfishness, no enjoyments. So this way the internal transformation takes place. The unconscious purity is reflected always in dream. If your dream are pure, if you are constantly, I saw one devotee, the devotee is now and then, almost every day, she is with God in dreams. Going to temple or doing this or that function, attending, some bhajans going on. Means how much of purification is there in the inner world you see. Then there will be constancy in sadhana also, in spiritual practices also. Otherwise, there will be ups and downs. As long as unconscious is not pure, the sadhana also won't be steady and it will be ups and downs. Someday I have to do without interest I will do. Someday with tears, joyful I will be doing. These ups and downs are because of once the inner consciousness transforms by these three dharas, Triveni Sangama, Jnana Dhara, Bhakti Dhara and the Japa Dhara, entering inside, it will purify the unconscious. All right? Yes. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.